Mr. Speaker, my question is for the Premier. Families and supporters of Grandview's Children's Centre rallied together on the weekend to fight for fair funding. Grandview has been waiting 9 years. 9 years, Mr. Speaker.
Minister of
9
Finance,
years
come to order.
and shovels have sat idly by. 9 years, children with autism have been sitting on a wait list. These children and their families deserve better. Your own Liberal caucus members have written the Premier pleading for action, but the Premier's office has ignored her own caucus members. I asked about this, Mr. Speaker, on November 24th, and I was told by the government they were going to look into it. Here we are months later, and nothing has happened. So, Mr. Speaker, my question is directly to the Premier, will the government commit to the proper funding for the new Grandview Centre? Yes or no? The community in Durham is tired of waiting.
Question. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. And I know that the Minister of Children and Youth Services is going to want to speak to the specifics, but I just want to be very clear that in no way have I or my office ignored the commentary from, quite frankly, all of the members from Durham, but certainly from our own caucus, Mr. Speaker. I know that this is a very worthwhile project. It's something that needs to move ahead, Mr. Speaker, and it's something that I know the Minister of Children and Youth Service will be happy to give an update on.
Thank you. Supplementary.
Back to the Premier, Speaker. Thank you. The Grandview situation is absolutely heartbreaking. 9 years of waiting. The land's been donated, $8 million raised, and sadly, Speaker, 2,753 children on the wait list. Mr. Speaker, how much longer must these children and families wait?
Thank you. Premier.
Children and Youth Services.
Children and Youth Services.
Well, thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'd like to thank the member for the question. As soon as the legislature went into recess this past winter, I made my way out to Grandview. It's one of my priorities in regards to visits. And I just want to say the centre is a remarkable place. I met with parents there, I met with staff, and to listen to their concerns. Mr. Speaker, we're a government that's invested in the last several years over $300 million into capital programs for our children treatment centres. We have a process in place, and I went out there to listen, and we're taking all of those requests for capital programs, and there's a process in place, and we'll be making a decision shortly in regards to where we spend those capital dollars. So I'd like to thank the member for his advocacy, but we're paying attention on this side, and we'll continue to work with Grandview to make sure we position kids for success here in Ontario.
Thank you. Supplementary. The member from Thornhill.
Thank you. Back to the Premier. Families of Grandview kids across Durham Region have been waiting for approval of Grandview's project. In November 2015, the town of Ajax announced a donation of a 5-acre parcel of land for the future new headquarters of Grandview. They are the only children's treatment centre in Durham Region providing specialized programs, outpatient clinical treatment and support to thousands of children and youth with special needs and their families. They also offer ABA therapy for children with autism. Yet over 2,700 children sit on a wait list while this government fails to act. Mr. Speaker, I toured Grandview just last Friday, and I can say with certainty the time to act is now. Will the Liberals announce the funding of the new Grandview Centre today?
Thank you.
Well, thank you, Mr. Speaker. And again, I'd like to thank the member for the question. She brought up funding for autism as a point in her question. The member knows that our autism funding is historically the largest investment in autism in the history of this province, if not the entire country. And so we're making inroads. We've got challenges in the system, and Mr. Speaker, when it comes to mental health, when it comes to autism, when it comes to our children, but we're doing everything we can to make sure we position them for success. Grandview is an exceptional place doing great work. You know, in our child treatment centres across the province, over 76,000 young people are treated each year, and we're proud of that, and we know we need to build more capacity within the system, and that's why we keep investing into capital programs and rebuilds for our treatment centres here in Ontario.
Thank you.